Hello. Today is June 1st. I actually can't believe that it's June 1st. It's kind of boggling my mind, but I wanted to come on here today and start giving you the lowdown on finals week. I am technically in the week before finals right now. My finals are next week. But I only have one final in a term project. I have successfully completed all of my homework across both my classes, and now I am down to a term project for an accounting analytics course and the final for my auditing course. I don't believe the accounting analytics course will have a final. The term project is going to be the, all encompassing comprehensive project for the quarter. And so I took some time over the weekend and mapped out my tentative study plan for the audit final, and then also how I'm going to tackle this term project. Actually, before this weekend, I took last Friday to kind of map out the different pieces I'm going to need for this project and created essentially a giant template that I'm going to fill in over the course of the week and then put it into a report, just so it will be easier for me this week. I don't have to think about how I'm going to format it. I worried about that last week, and I will start actually doing it later today. And then I mapped out what prep quizzes I wanted to use for studying for my audit final. My teacher hasn't given the review yet for the final. I would expect that's going to come out either today or tomorrow, because my final is a week and a day from tomorrow. So even though my school doesn't technically get out until the 12th, I will be done with school as of next Tuesday. So I am, as of today, 8 days away from being done with my degree, which I was writing about it in my journal this morning. Actually blows my mind. I know it's not that crazy, but it's just one of those things where I've just felt very aware of the impacts of going back to school over these 2 years, and I'm very ready to not be in school anymore. So I am very excited, and I wanted to kind of take you along on this journey of what my last week of school is going to look like for this degree. I will not say this is going to be my last week of school ever, because now that I have done my first round of going back to school since my first undergraduate degree, I feel maybe not in the next 5 years, but who knows, maybe in the next 10 years. I finally decide to go back and get a master's, or who knows, maybe I'll even decide to go back and, after having been an accountant for 10 years, decide I'm going to do something different and get yet another undergraduate degree. So I won't say that this is my last week of school forever, because I feel like, knowing myself, it might not be. But, this is going to be closing out a pretty big chapter in my life over the past 2 years. And I would like to document what that looks like. I also just want to talk about how I'm feeling about maybe the past 2 years, how I'm feeling about the rest of the week going forward, and what my study plan is going to continue to look like. I don't know if I want to keep this as all voiceover type video, or if I will insert photos. I did take a little trip out so I'm an online student, but the physical school that my my online program is through is a bit outside of the Seattle area. So I went and took a little visit this weekend, took a little day trip out there. I had not been there in over 10 years, because this school I had originally gone to my freshman year and then transferred elsewhere because I did not like the weather there. But I hadn't been to the area in over 10 years, which was yet kind of another mind-blowing thing to have happen to me. There was a lot of nostalgia, but also just a lot of being aware of, wow, I've changed a lot since I transferred and made the decision to, go elsewhere mid-year. But that was really nice. It was also a really nice way to kind of start the beginning of the end. I was able to get a graduation cap and tassel I will not be walking at commencement. I just don't really feel the need to like go out there and do that whole thing. Even though I also did not walk in my first undergraduate commencement because there wasn't any, because I graduated in 2020 and COVID, was COVIDing. And so there was a part of me that was like, I should go and walk and like really do it. But then I was like, like my boyfriend's going to be out of town and for good reason. So he's off the hook. And also, I don't want to like force all my friends to have to like drive super far. So I'm just having a big graduation party at my own home the weekend that I get out of school. So not this upcoming weekend, but the next. That would be June 13th. So I'm having a bunch of people over and I'm going to like dress up as if I was like walking. And we're actually going to be going on a big walk. So I might just like wear that outfit and have them take grad photos of me. But yeah, that's the plan. That's kind of how I'm going to like give myself the closure of graduation by just like having a big party at mine. But yeah, let's see. For today, I am not working on any sort of audit homework or review. Well, there is no homework, but I'm not doing any sort of audit review starting until Wednesday. Because I have some prep quizzes I can use, but I would like to have the formal study guide sent to us before I start diving in, just because I want to make sure I'm covering the right topics. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to bust out as much of this term project for my accounting analytics class that I can between today and tomorrow to try and maybe submit it like Wednesday, Thursday. I do technically have till, my professor said the 14th, but the 14th school's like out by then. So I think that was a mistake. But I'm going to try to get it done before the end of this week so I don't have to be thinking about it during my final next week, and then just be done on Tuesday and like have an extra 3-4 days of the week where I can just work and not be thinking about school and start that whole journey. So that is my plan for today. I don't know if I'm going to update you any other time today. I need to go make lunch. I've been busting out some work on my computer and I can tell my stomach's starting to growl and I'm getting a little woozy and a little tired and like unable to focus because I think I'm hungry. So if I don't fill you in on the rest of today, I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. All right, bye. Hello, today is June 3rd. It is Wednesday. I just got done hosting yet another Zoom meeting for work. That was like an hour doing IT support. So taking a breather for a moment before I jump back into things. But I'm here to report that I completely failed at getting any of my term project or studying for my audit course done last night after I got off work. The weather yesterday was crazy. It must have been a high for the Seattle area for early June. It was like over 80 degrees and I was warm and I didn't want to do it. Well, I didn't want to do any computer work. I ended up going for a walk around the park with my boyfriend. That was really nice after having dinner. And I just enjoyed myself yesterday evening, but I am kind of feeling it today. The pressure is on. I still have so much time. And I was telling my boyfriend last night, he's like, you need to give yourself a break. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Like the term project isn't actually due until like the very last day of finals. So I'm just pushing myself to try to get it done earlier and not have to think about it once I'm done with my audit final. But it was the weather, man. If you live in Seattle, you know how it feels when the weather gets nice. It's like it's both exciting, but there's also like pressure to be outside because for so much of the year it's so gray and overcast and kind of meh. So I felt the pressure, but also the joy of being outside. And I still have plenty of time to get everything that I need done. It's just, might have to do more this weekend than I wanted to. That being said, the weather is a lot grayer today. It's much more overcast. I think we've jumped back down to being in the 60s, which is very appropriate for this time of year. If you're familiar with June gloom in Seattle or January. So the plan for the rest of the day is, finish out the workday. And then I was also supposed to go to a dance class tonight, but I don't know that I'm going to go because honestly, I feel pretty trash still. I did not sleep well last night. When I've noticed when there are like really intense weather fluctuations, I get really bad sinus headaches and I'll wake up with them. And even though I've like taken all the medication that, I would for something like this, and I've taken a shower and I've dehumidified and opened up the nasal cavities as best as I can, I still just have like some lingering pain, and it just makes it hard to like kind of do anything and focus on the computer. And so I'm impressed with myself that I've been able to get as much done today as I have. But I'm also like, you know what, the weather's not great. And yes, I should be going to dance class tonight. But if I already have the sinus headache, I don't know that I'm going to want to be like throwing my body around. So I might skip that and just stay back and do homework instead. I will be staying back to do homework in some regard tonight in any form, or in whatever form there may be. But yeah, I got to get some work done tonight. And I think the weather will be conducive to that because I won't feel the need to go outside and just exist. So that's where I'm at. Not feeling great, but also like not feeling like actually bad about the studying. I have plenty of time. I'm excited for the workday to be over so I can get into these other things. I've had them kind of on my laptop on the side and have been just like looking at what I need to do next. And hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. I have to like, I'm finally at the part in my term project where I have to like really plug in the numbers and create some ratios and then create some data visualization with those ratios over the course of like a 3-year period. And so it's not hard. It's just like I actually have to like pay attention a little bit more carefully for this portion of the project. And then I wanted to be in editing mode today, but I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow. The other thing I need to do today, and we'll see if I get around to it. If I wait and do it tomorrow, that's fine too, is I need to do my initial like rundown of what's going to be covered on the final for my audit class. I am not like a huge proponent of AI, but I will say for when I'm doing like a final review, it's extremely helpful because what I'll do is I'll plug in the topics into AI and be like, hey, give me like a simplified, like in terms of language, synopsis of like what these topics are covering and like what to expect on a test. And honestly, it's so helpful to me because then I'll play it out loud and use the speech or text to speech. And it's like a more efficient way of like listening, or like you could read a textbook, but this is really like consolidating the topics down. And then also like for me, I'm a much more like I so absorb information better through my ears auditorily versus reading. So it really works for me. So that is something that I need to do either today or tomorrow. I don't know that I'm going to have the patience for it today if I'm working on the term project, but we will see. Okay, with that, I will probably check in with you tomorrow. I don't think I'll be talking to you today. And I'll see you when I see you. All right, bye. Hello, hello. Today is June 4th. It is a Thursday. I apologize. My lighting isn't as good as it usually is. I'm actually in the process of logging off of the workday. It's only like 11:30 right now, but I am actually heading to a friend's wedding today. She's having like a very, very small ceremony. I should probably be home by like 5. I actually am not entirely sure what time I'm going to be home. So all of the dance classes and whatnot have been put on hold. But I'm super excited. It's just such a nice way to like break up this week and kind of take the attention off of myself internally for a little bit in terms of like not having to study for finals and work on the term project. But oh boy, my update regarding that is very sad. I didn't do any of that last night. I was exhausted at the end of the day. I really did not sleep well last night. And that sinus headache that I had mentioned yesterday, it stuck with me kind of all day. And I was just completely wiped after work. And I didn't even go on a walk. I ended up canceling my dance class I was supposed to go to. And I just laid down all evening, which kind of sucked. I like had a lot I needed to kind of do. And so I am kicking myself a bit now. But, I still have plenty of time. If I really want to, I can completely pivot and only work on studying for my audit final and then work on the midterm after that if I really am feeling pinched. But I have a feeling I should be home at a reasonable hour tonight. I'm feeling so much better. I slept so much better last night. And I think my spirits are just kind of up in general, given the wedding festivities coming up. So I think I'll probably feel inclined to study tonight. The weather's also a little gloomy, so that helps with all of that. Sad for the wedding, but we're used to it here in the Seattle area. But yeah, that is my update. Kicking myself because I didn't get anything done, but also just like, yeah, really was not feeling it last night. And I'm kind of just like, you know what? I've got the time. I feel pretty confident in a lot of the audit topics too already. And I know that just once I start the review, I just need to do that. And I've got really no real set plans for the weekend. And so that's also reassuring that I'll just spend a lot of this weekend studying. And then I'm home free. The taste is, it's right there. The wrong phrase is coming out. The ending is right there. Yeah, I was just telling my boyfriend last night, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be done a week from tonight. Meanwhile, I'm like falling asleep on the couch as we're watching TV. So, anywho, I gotta go. I gotta log off and then I gotta go to this wedding. So, fingers crossed. My update to you tomorrow is that I finished my term project tonight and turned it in. Or am like done with it and just need to go through some edits and then turn it in. Because tomorrow, I do have planned I had planned PTO today for the wedding, and I have planned PTO for tomorrow for getting homework done. So I've virtually got the entire day off tomorrow and no plans. So I should be able to bust out some work. So with that, I will talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. Good morning. Different angle this morning, but I was rolling. I'm upstairs in our living room, and I was rolling around on the floor on a what do you call that? Not a rolling pin. But I was rolling out my legs this morning because I felt like I was having some lower back pain. And I just got off work. I have the rest of the day off to just do homework and get life admin done. I can't remember if I said it, but today is June 5th. And the positive things that I have to report about yesterday is my friend is married and I had so much fun at her wedding and it was so beautiful. I cried a little bit. I had cake. We took photos. It was so lovely. The bad news is, which is also kind of good news, is I came home and I was like, I'm riding a high right now of my friend being married. I'm not doing any homework. And so I went on a walk and me and my boyfriend started watching couples therapy last night, which was a really random pick for him. Hopefully he's not trying to send me a message. I don't think that was the case. It just got recommended to him. But we were eating it up last night. We were really getting into it. It was hard. I think we watched 3 episodes. They're only 30 minutes each, but we were very into it. And I proceeded to do 0 homework last night. So I am officially I have found myself in crunch mode. I have done it to myself. I haven't done anything over the last couple days, but you know what? Sometimes that's just how it is. I don't necessarily know that I'm someone that works better under pressure, but I certainly can work under pressure. It's not impossible. And I have 0 plans today. The only plan is to get work done. I do need to go to Costco. My boyfriend's having some folks over tonight, and we just need more regular groceries. So I think I'm going to do that this morning. And then I need to go on a walk. But I might use, I'm not hanging out with anyone tonight. So I honestly might use tonight to go find a coffee shop that's open late and do some work. And then I've got pretty much all day tomorrow and the next to do work. And then I've got Monday. And so I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the week, but my audit final it opens on the 7th and then I want to say it closes on the 11th. So I was planning on taking it on the 10th, but I guess if I really need to, I can take it on the 11th and have, extra time to study. I think Sunday evening will be the day that I decide whether or not I'm probably going to want to take a Tuesday or Wednesday. So I've got more time. I do have an extra day built in that I didn't mention earlier that I could use. So I'm not too stressed, but I do need to start reviewing. It's not, the review is not going to do the work itself. So that is my goal for today. I think what I'm going to do is, just because I have a number of like personal admin things and homework that I need to do, I'm going to like block out the time on my calendar for what I'm going to get done when. I think I just need to lock in a little bit and not have to think about it in terms of like planning it out, but then once I've planned it, not have to think about it. So that is what I need to do today. But yeah, so I feel kind of bad. I don't feel like I have any, like, I can't tell you if I'm feeling good or bad about the final because I haven't really been studying at all. Um, I did, I actually take it back. I did one thing yesterday for my term project for my accounting analytics class, and that was like get prepped for like the next piece that I need to, I'm like on part 4 of a 5-part kind of map I have for this term project, and I prepped part 4, but I didn't like do it. So hopefully I want to get the term project done by like tomorrow. That'd be really nice. So that might be a large focus of today. We've had like a downstairs desk in our office, which is where I'm usually at. But then we have an upstairs desk that has a monitor but didn't have a docking station. So we haven't been using it, but now we got it. I finally ordered the docking station and we got it all set up. And it's so nice working upstairs because you get so much more light. So I'm anticipating that I will have motivation to get this done. The weather's also not supposed to be like fantastic this weekend. So again, more reason to stay inside and do my homework. But that's all the updates I have for you. I might update you more throughout the day today just to kind of use you as motivation and accountability for getting, my homework done and my studying done. So we shall see. Maybe talk to you later. Maybe not. All right. Bye. Hello. Today is June 8th. It is a Monday. It is just about 4 p.m. So I'm getting ready here in a moment to end my workday. I actually have not been working in this downstairs office. I've actually been working upstairs today. Finally got our home office set up, also done upstairs as well as the downstairs office. And oh my gosh, it's so much nicer when it's cold out because it's so much warmer up there. Working down here during the summer is going to be really nice because it stays cool, but it is absolutely freezing for the rest of the year. And I can't believe it took us that long to get the upstairs ready and in like working condition, but it's been so nice today. And so I feel like the day has really flown by. I will say I have not done any homework today. I've had not like the busiest work day ever. But just, steadily plugging along at things. And I'm planning on hopping on my walking pad here in a moment and going through the like AI study guide review that I created for myself. I'm really annoyed because the Kahoots my professor provides, which are like the little quizzes she creates, aren't working for the like most of the chapters that this I think most of the chapters from the second half of the quarter are what is going to be the focus on the final. And they are not working still. And so I think I said it in my last clip, but I did that annoying thing where I like emailed everybody in the class to hear, if they were having issues too. One girl got back to me who I think is in the live session, like she's in the synchronous version of this class. And she said, yeah, the professor said she would get them squared away by Monday. Well, today is Monday. I would like to take the exam tomorrow. It's been open since yesterday, and I still don't have access to those Kahoots, and it's making me angry because I really want to review them. I think there's like at least 2 out of the like 8 or 10 that are working. So I'm definitely going to go back and do those. But it's like, I really wanted to like hardcore review those the way I reviewed the other prep quizzes that are a part of the homework that my professor also provides. those I was able to really successfully get through yesterday. I'm feeling so much better in terms of just like general concepts. There's still some stuff that's like missing and that hasn't like stuck in my brain for the time being. So I don't know what else in my brain needs to exit right now for me to fill the space with audit information. But yeah, there's some concepts that I'm still not quite getting a grasp on. And I think if I just like study tonight, I should be fine. The weather today is like so perfect for studying. It is a gray and actively rainy day, which is like so stereotypical, like Seattle schools out for the summer vibe. I know you would think like sunny, barbecue, like, jumping in the lake, but no, we have officially entered January, as we like to call it, or June gloom here in Seattle. And so it is bad out there, and I wouldn't want to go on a walk even if I could. Well, I might if I really had nothing else to do, and wanted to move my body. But I feel like the world has given me the perfect storm today for hopping on my walking pad and then just like listening to this review, and kind of locking in on that. So yeah, weather's not supposed to be great today or tomorrow, and then it's supposed to be like beautiful, like 80, 85 this weekend. So I'm really excited for that. That's giving me hope for my grad party that I'm going to have. And I want to go on a little walk. Hopefully it's not like too hot. That would kind of suck. But we shall see. But yes, I am going to do some studying tonight. That's like my whole focus of this evening, and I want to get on my walking pad now to get some steps in. I might leave the house to one like run postal errand before they close, but that is it for me today. It's just, I feel like I didn't sleep the best last night. Something about Sunday nights. I feel like I don't sleep the best often. I had some bad dreams. I had a dream that I woke up today at like 2 p.m. and I was like, oh my God, I've missed like 5 meetings. Like, I'm going to be fired. So I think I've just got like residual, just like school stress that's like seeping into my work life. But yeah, it's really hitting me that I'm going to be done in waves, I would say. Like I'll have days where I'm like, wow, I can like feel what it feels like to not be in school anymore. And then I have days like today where it's like, here's one last good push. I've got another push I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I will take my exam, which is like, wow. And no, I still have not turned in my accounting analytics term project. And you know what? I think I'm just going to turn it in on Wednesday. I'm going to give it a good edit that day, when my brain is like fresh and I'm like not thinking about audit stuff anymore. So I want it to be done by tomorrow, but it's okay. It's not due for a while. I've got plenty of time. I'm just glad. Again, I wanted to get that draft out of the way, so at least I wasn't like, come tomorrow after the final. If I do take it tomorrow, I'm not like, oh, and I still have to do this like entire project. I can at least be like, you know what? I've got the giant first draft done. Now I can just do some edits and call it a day. So I kind of need to get myself set up upstairs if I'm going to be walking around on my walking pad. So I'm going to leave you there. Fingers crossed those Kahoots get published. I really want to be able to use those. I don't want to have to make my own flashcards. It's kind of the beauty of these Kahoot quizzes. So we shall see. Wish me luck, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello. Today is June 9th. I think you can see a little bit of it, but if I'm talking weirdly, it's because I have a face mask on. I took it's like 4 p.m. now. I've been off since about 12:30 today. I took today as a half day, and I've been doing my review all day long. And I heard back from my professor about the Kahoots, so I emailed them again last night being like, what gives? And they were like, oh, I pulled this from another class, just like ignore it and go ahead and use the study guide. And I was like, okay, glad I like already started going through the study guide again last night, because apparently, that was the only option. But from that, I then there's 19 study points on the study guide. And what I did is I took each point and kind of extrapolated. Is that the right word? I created 10 questions per section, and I created a 190 question like sample exam, basically just to make sure I was covering like everything. I took that over the course of today. I had to do it in chunks because it was so many questions, but I ended up getting like 84% on that. So I'm feeling pretty good. I know that I have a few topics that I need to brush up on. There were about 30 questions that I got wrong or like just didn't know the answer to. So I've since put those and their answers in a Quizlet, and I'm going to work on that now. I think I might have said it's 4 o'clock. It's definitely closer to 5 now. So basically, I've been doing that since I got off work, and I just felt myself kind of hitting a wall. And my boyfriend was actually using this office for most of this afternoon, and then he just left to go to dinner and run some errands. So I like haven't been able to talk to you all to give you an update too, because I'm like, I can't do this while my boyfriend's home. You'll hear me talking to myself. And so sorry, I hear a lot of lip smacking because of my face mask that's like slowly sliding down. What was I going to say? But yes, he is now gone. I've got the office to myself. I want to aim to take this exam at 7 p.m. So I'm going to give myself like an hour 15, hour 30 to like get through the rest of the content that I'm still struggling with. And then I'm just going to take it. I don't want to wait until tomorrow. I'm feeling pretty good. I also don't have to do well, like I think I've mentioned before, to pass the class. I think I need like 30% of the questions. So odds are if I can do well on the multiple choice and then just like, because, the grades for the multiple choice come in first, and then the professor has to go in and manually answer any of the long form answer questions. So it'd be really nice to know that like if I just like did well on the multiple choice and could like see that grade right out of the gate, I could then know like, oh, I passed the class. So, but feeling good, pretty good from where I'm at. Just like, I feel like it's been coming in waves of like, dang, this is the last one. It's not, I don't know what I was expecting the last final to feel like in this degree, but it does feel a little bit different. The weather's really different today, whereas yesterday was like really rainy and like great for studying. Today's been weird. The weather's been kind of all over the place. It's been cloudy and then sunny, but like very consistently it's been very windy, which is not my favorite because it's harder to open the windows and like get fresh air without the windows kind of like rattling against the house. So but we'll see. I've been working in our upstairs office, so I've been very like aware of the weather, whereas when I work down here, you can kind of pull the curtain halfway, turn the lights on, and really kind of get into your own world. So that's why I plan on taking the final down here. But yep, just needed a little reset, so I took a shower and did a face mask, and my hair was just feeling oily, and I was feeling like, oh, I'm just like been so sedentary all day. I can tell that like my back kind of hurts. And I meant to go run some errands, but I just feel like I never quite got there. I was going to use those as like a little brain break, but it felt like more effort to go than not. So we're here now, and I think I'm going to head back upstairs, and I am going to finish out this review, try to give myself a little bit of a break, and then do this thing. So I will probably check in with you after the exam. So I would expect that the next clip of me, you might see me, or the next clip you see of me is post-exam and post-face mask, because I'm certainly not going to keep this on through the whole thing. I thought about this is like a hyaluronic face mask, and I thought about doing a collagen one, but you have to, or you don't have to, but it's like recommended you leave those on for 3 hours minimum. And I was like, well, I am just going to be sitting at home testing. And then I was like, no, you have to do the whole like ID verification. And I was like, that wouldn't bode well. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's all I got. See you when I'm done with my test. See you on the other side. All right, bye. Hello. So it is still June 9th, and it is about 8:15 right now in the evening. And I just submitted my audit final. And because I did well enough on the multiple choice, I know that I got a score that I needed to pass the class. I got what I needed just in the multiple choice answers, so I know I'm passing. And the professor has to go in and grade the rest of the long answers, which is like the majority of the exam. So I can only go up from here, which is really exciting. I feel it's starting to hit me, like the weight is starting to come off me of like the all day that I spent studying. I feel like I'm finally, not that I've been in like a bad mood today, but I've just been in like a very dialed mood. And now, yeah, I just have to submit the accounting analytics report, which I'm really not even worried about that. Like, I need 20 out of 200 points on that thing to pass the class. And I've got literally through like this Sunday to submit that, which is like crazy. So I think because I have so much time, I was really gung ho about getting it done. But you know what? If I don't turn it in until like Thursday or Friday, it's okay. I have time even after that to submit it. But yeah, I am in the clear for audit, which just feels so good. It also just feels so good. I'm so glad I took the test today because I have an all day in person work event tomorrow, which is very out of the norm for my job. But I want to be really present. I didn't want to be like thinking about my exam. So yeah, but I don't know if I'll have more to say. I'm going to guess I have one more clip I'll do tomorrow just as like a reflection on the whole process. Or maybe I do have one more clip, but I'm getting cut off because my boyfriend came home and I didn't want him hearing me talking to the camera. So the next clip is a couple days after my exam. Hello, hello. Today is June 11th. It is 7:44 p.m. and I have officially turned in my last assignment. Like 45 minutes ago-ish, I turned in my report. I made a very small number of edits and I was just like, you know what? I'm calling it good and I'm turning it in. I'm like, I can never say 100, but I am 99% sure I am getting the points that I need for this assignment to pass the class. And now my brain just feels like a puddle of mush. And I phoned for like the last 45 minutes. I've been really bad about scrolling this week. I feel like I've just been in like especially once I was done with my final on Tuesday and today is Thursday. I've just been like the last 2 days I've just been in like brain melt mode and the weather is gorgeous today and there's still time to get out there. And so I'm going to go run some errands and then I'm hopefully going to go on a walk, watch a little sunset, and then come home and just chill. I do have to work tomorrow, but my graduation party is on Saturday, so I think I'm going to go do some errands related to that. But it has not hit me at all that I just turned in my last assignment for this degree. But I imagine once my party comes around this weekend, I'll actually start feeling the feelings of like, oh my gosh, I really am done. I also feel a little bit weird too because I'm actually going to be home alone all weekend. My boyfriend's on a bachelor party for a wedding that we're going to for a close friend of his in July. So it just feels kind of weird right now. But I'm going to go get outside and I think blast some music while I'm driving over to the store. And I'm going to enjoy the sunset. And I'm going to try to not do too much. I'm going to try to not sign up for too much. I'm going to just kind of see where the world takes me probably for like the next couple weeks to couple months. I do plan on making a video sometime in July, just talking about like, okay, I've got this degree. Now what am I doing with it? Because all of that's up in the air still. And, I kind of was just like, let's just focus on step one for now, get the degree. But I do want to reflect kind of probably on my whole second degree journey, but also just kind of talk about what the future holds as well. Stumbling on my words. Sorry. But thank you for sticking with me if you did. I'm so excited to go back someday and watch this video myself just to like see the evolution of what a week of finals looks like, and who knows if I'll ever go back to school again. I said that, when I was in my first bachelor's degree. I remember so distinctly on my last day of school thinking, and I'm never going to have to do this again. However, I'm keenly aware, I was keenly aware when I submitted my audit final. I'm like, dang, the next test I submit might be a CPA exam, which is brutal to think about. So I'm going to take a nice big break. Definitely not going to do any accounting over this summer, which might be a bad thing for memorization, but yeah, I'm gonna make a video all about it, I think, in July, so I won't get ahead of myself. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me this week, and I'm done. I can't believe it. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.